watching HALENVILLE Live with Fruitcake Tony. Woo! Wow!
Hey guys, what's going on, HALENVILLE?
All right. We are live. What's happening? It's Tuesday, dudes. What's up?
Tuesday.
Yeah. It is only just 5 minutes past 9 o'clock. September 12th, 2023. Fruitcake Tony, Charles Green, Ed Dubrill in the house tonight. What's up, fellas?
Hey Tony,
How's everybody doing?
how's things with everyone?
Excellent, dude. Very good. How's things in the Northeast, Ed?
Very wet and rainy. We had a state of emergency in one of our local towns where a lot of our customers are. Just too much rain, 9.5 inches.
Mm,
They couldn't take it.
mm.
So we have a plumbing company too. So we had one customer who we replaced their boilers not long ago, and we had to put them up on pedestals 4 feet high, and they still went underwater a couple days ago. So we have to do some repairs to that. But yeah, it's been crazy. All this rain, this weather has been nuts. Very hot, and it's I don't know if it's climate change or just a strange summer.
In between summer and fall, things are starting to fade into fall for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple of a couple inches of rain in no time shortly ago.
Yeah.
And man, it was raining sideways and it stopped. I'm glad that the power and the internet is still with
Me
us.
too.
Yeah, man, right on.
Oh, another thing, we had 9 confirmed tornadoes this year so far, and that's very unusual for this part of the country. Not big ones, but 9 in the state.
Right.
I saw that one picture you posted. I saw one of the pictures you posted.
Yeah, that was a town over from
crazy
from me. Yeah,
that is crazy.
So, but I think we'll get through it. Pick yourself back up and clean up.
That's a lot of rain in a little amount of time.
Yeah, is that somebody's computer? I hear.
Yeah, I'm getting notifications, and they're business ones. And I'm sorry, I apologize, you guys.
No worries.
I thought it was me.
Anyway, so it's Tuesday. We're talking Van Halen, and so for tonight, we're talking about what was going on in 1996. It looked like the segue to a sweet reunion.
Yeah.
And our hero was coming back to the fold, but was not
My
to be.
favorite part of that era of Van Halen was that every single member of the entire band spoke their mind, and they didn't hold back at that point. Everything was unfettered. There was nobody really holding them together anymore. And it was some of the best Van Halen drama ever.
Well,
I'm
He
trying to
was.
look on it on the bright side, guys, because having experienced it with you guys and 40 years of Van Halen turmoil, it's
well,
wonderful that we can actually look back and have documented. I love when I can see Eddie and Al sitting on a couch. Ed was talking about it earlier. Eddie and Al sitting on a couch talking about an issue that we're going to talk about. You hear their thoughts. Is it the truth? Do you believe every word coming out of their mouth? Gives the opportunity, because we can hear it from multiple. All the members of this have all been very verbal, and it's on film and it's documented. And
right. But it'll be
wonderful.
important also, Charles, to touch on all of the elements and the aspects of what got in the way with
Yeah.
that. There was a lot happening. The lot happening behind the scenes, new management, you know, and we'll get into all of that. The end of the Sammy Hagar era,
Yeah.
until 04, but the end of that, and looked like Dave was coming back, but there was a lot that got in the way of that, and we're going to get into that and all of that. And a little later on, we're going to get into also some nearly impossible Van Halen trivia. We are. Yeah.
Excellent question tonight.
All right. So for tonight, we're gonna give them $1 million VH bucks like that, and
Big bucks.
big bucks. And let me find. There's all kind of goodies in here. Let me find something in here. Oh shit! There it is. All right. So we're gonna give them a 1971 D quarter with the bill. That's what's up for tonight.
Excellent.
And this is wrapped in like a little lollipop sealed wrapper.
Very cool.
Only break in an emergency. All right. Yeah. And not now, but we're going to go to the chat, I guess, next. But after that, we're gonna look at a new tattoo, because it's a new tattoo day today.
Tattoo.
Yeah. All right. Let's open up the chat, Charles. What do you think?
There it goes. Bang.
Go there. All right.
Yeah.
There's our Van Halen bro, R2, R3, lock and nut right there at the bottom.
Good to see you, R2. Right
There's
on,
Joe
up, R2?
right behind him. What's up, Joe?
right on, Joe. It's good to see you, bro.
Christopher
Joe.
Live Sour in the house.
Love
Oh,
you,
yeah.
The
Chris. Right
lawnmower
there.
tapes is here.
Lawnmower,
Yeah.
what's going on, brother?
There's Patrick Trites. What's up, dude?
Patrick.
Patrick.
And there's Monique. Good to see
Hey,
you.
Monique.
Good to see you, Monique.
Right on. Let me scroll up. There's Kurt. What's up, Kurt?
Kurt.
Kurt, what's going on,
Part of the
brother?
Under the Bus
Right on.
crew. What's happening, dude? Good to see you, bro.
UTB.
All right, there's Keith Campbell in the house. What's up,
Keith, what's
Keith?
up, brother?
Right on.
Right on, dude. And Ryan Hall right behind him.
Good to see you,
Ryan.
Ryan. Right on, Ryan.
Yeah, but there's Patty Deal. Hey,
Hey,
Patty.
Patty. Hey, Patty.
Always
Right
good
on,
to
Patty.
see you. All righty, there's John DeShane. What's up, John?
John.
Good to see you, John.
Part
Right
of the
on, brother.
OU812 crew, guys.
Yeah.
Sunday, Thursday thing. Our regular Sunday, Thursday viewing thing. Yes, it is. Good to see you, John. Check your mailbox. Got stuff coming out to you. John was a big winner
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night. Good to see you, dude. All right, I'm scrolling up. Still scrolling. All right.
Andy was there, but he had to leave on a call.
I see him. What's
Love
up,
you, man.
Andy?
Be safe, bro.
All right. Let me see. Papa Blue in the house. What's
Hey,
up,
Papa.
dude?
Right on, Papa. Good to see you, brother.
Right on, man. All righty.
Yeah, I think that's everyone.
I see all the cool
Charles
people.
75 in the chat.
Charles,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
up,
By
dude?
the way, Charles, I'm not showing anything, but I'm going to say that he's building me, doing a rap on a guitar for me right now, you guys. It's going to be so cool. I'm really excited, and I'm going to shut up. But Charles, you rock. Let me just say that. You guys will all see it. Very talented guy, you guys.
Lawnmower tapes in the house, Charles. Have we
Lawnmower
said
tapes right on, brother.
Yep.
him?
Oh, Guitar Man just popped in.
Guitar Man 45.
Good to see you
Mhm.
both. Right there,
What's
man.
happening, dude? There's Jay Turner in the house. What's up,
Hey,
Jay?
Right
Jay.
on,
What's up,
Jay.
Jay?
Rock,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, Jay went to King's X up in Columbus, Ohio over the weekend. We went live a little bit with Jay.
Little video snippet was very cool, man.
Yeah,
It
bro.
was cool.
Good to see you, Jay.
Right there, Jay.
Yeah, Jay is the mighty bass man for the Mighty Mean Street, North Carolina's premier Van Halen tribute band. They are. All right. If you're just joining, please say hello in the chat. It's Tuesday. This is Halenville Live. We're talking all things Van Halen. We're talking about the reunion of 1996 that almost happened.
Almost happened. Never was.
It almost happened. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, after things were changing in everybody's life, you know, I think it's fair to start it there. Things were changing. There was new management, you know. There was, you know, Ray Daniels was, you know, I mean, it was all in the family at that point. And, you know, Hagar was out at that point, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't think that the greatest hits was a stunt or a coy or anything that you've ever heard. I think that the greatest hits was and could have been the start of the reunion of the original Van Halen. You know.
Yeah, they seem to be going in that direction. Do you think it was planned out, or was it like Eddie said, baby steps? There were things
There was
he needed.
so much. There was so much happening that was probably not helping a Van Halen reunion in 1996. And it's a list of things that the relationship in the band and management. Ray Daniels got very close to Ed now, and
Yeah.
when there was and Alex is going, he's going through a divorce at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They called the Balance Tour the Ambulance Tour. And everybody, with the exception of Michael Anthony,
Mm-hmm.
was going through their own mountain of crap. Eddie had physical, chemical issues. Al was wearing not only a neck brace, but during the Balance Tour, he had a physical therapist who literally had to rub him to get him out of bed every morning.
Wow.
That's something that a lot of people don't know. So physically, they had been beating the shit out of themselves for 2 decades. It was taking its toll.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie himself, bad hip, been playing for years in pain, been medicating with alcohol and substances. And all of that came to the head. And not to mention in 96, 3 years before, when they lost Loeffler, he was the glue
Yes.
that held Van Halen together after Noel Monk, who was the glue that held Van Halen together from the very fucking beginning.
Yep.
If they didn't have somebody in a strong position of management, they would have self-destructed. Well, let's just look at what they did. They're trying to manage themselves at this time. Before they got Ray, it was a shambles. They had to have somebody to take care of answering the phone and doing everything. Just to reflect on chapter 7 of Eruption, okay? Brad Talinsky, Chris Gill. There is no better chapter in a Van Halen book that does a breakdown of the in and out of Sammy from that band. And the introduction, it actually reflects on the introduction of how Dave was almost there and gone as well. So you guys need to read that if you haven't. It's really good. But we all know this. Ray's family. Ray Daniels is family with the Van Halen guys. Sammy doesn't trust him at all.
Nope.
But I think he could have. I think Ray Daniels was a trustworthy manager. As far as his management of Van Halen, he seemed to do okay. And we also need to remember one thing that's really important. It's easy to lose it because Sammy fans love Sammy and Roth fans love Roth. But this is Eddie and Alex's band. And they have fought up to this point ruthlessly for better part of 30 years now to keep Van Halen. And a lot of the drama that especially what we're talking about right now, is their efforts, Eddie and Al's, to keep it theirs. It's interesting. You mentioned I forget the phrase you said, Ed, talking about on stage there with MTV, baby steps. Thank you.
Baby steps.
Remember that. The way that we heard it as fans at the time, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is how I heard it. Dave was back in the band.
Mm-hmm.
But according to Eddie and Al, and it's documented, he was there for 2 songs.
Yep.
And the baby steps thing was take it easy. We'll see how things work out. But by that time, they didn't get through the 2 songs. The baby steps, Eddie was ready to pull his hair out. he was sick of Dave by that point, and Alex was too. And it's a shame that after Balance, in 20, I think I'm correct in this, in 20 years, 2 studio albums came out of Van Halen after Balance in a 20-year period. That's horribly horrible. And so that whole 2 decades where we should have been getting a whole lot more than what we got was just wasted years.
Yeah.
To some degree. There's Karabi fans out there. God bless you, man. You know.
What's up, Symmetry? Good to see you, bro.
You rock,
Hey,
bro.
Trev.
But you know, to see Dave up on stage, back to Tony, back to that whole MTV thing, to see Dave up on stage acting like Dave, that whole shenanigans thing he does, that it bothered me, and I'm as big a Dave fan as there is. I saw the way he was
embarrassing.
Acting. It was embarrassing, and it embarrassed Eddie. It embarrassed the whole band.
And poor Beck.
Well,
yes.
Well, stop right there. Here's how I view that. I'm going to tell you how I really feel. I thought that particular night, I didn't think we were going there until later in the show, but since we're here. We're here. All right.
I'm sorry.
Van Halen, it was in Van Halen's interest, everybody, that Dave did his thing that night, and they ought to have let him do his thing and not, but it was deeper than that. The relationship was already, argumentative. They couldn't stand to be next to each other in the same room. There wasn't kind words. I mean, they're, at least move forward in this business, in this venture, I mean, act, but they couldn't even do that then. And it, so apparently, that's when it came to a head, I guess, then. But, Ed and his hip at the time, he was not, I mean, when your hip is gone like that, it makes you almost another person, Yeah, it does. But, I would hate to have been in something like, Ed's hip and him having to, and Al's and his divorce, and, everything's new with Sammy, a new wife and a new baby, it was, everything worked against Dave getting back in that band. They say baby steps, and that's what they were saying backstage in a couple of the interview questions, and that's fine, and they talked about that. But I mean, David Lee Roth, you're putting 2 songs out on the greatest hits. He's back. This is
Great songs.
I mean, this is beyond more lucrative than you can imagine if you all stay in the same room together, at that point. Yeah.
So here's the thing: MTV was running 30-second commercials. Welcome back, Carter theme with snippets of Dave and everything. So did Ray Daniels approve of that?
I remember those. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
remember those?
man.
Little 30-second commercial.
I
Welcome
will
back.
say that, I did kind of hold my breath watching that when Dave, it looked, he was doing his thing, but when he went up to the mic and said, there's something we have to address. Oh shit! Dave? What in the hell are you doing?
This is
And
the first time.
yeah, I think that if he hadn't have done that,
There's another. I know Ed. I know you've heard this. I know you've heard this, Tony. Eddie was just going off at that Kurt Lauder interview with Alex, and he looked right in the camera and he said that Dave looked at him, and he imitated Dave. He goes, "I'm going to imitate Dave," and he looks at
what's
the camera
up,
and
Boner Jams?
he goes, "This is all
Boner?
about me, not your flipping hip." And I'm
Yep.
not going to swear, but that's what he said to Eddie. And at that moment, Eddie says to us, the fans, he says, and that was it. That was it. He had enough.
Yep. If you ever speak to me again,
well,
right when I put down right there.
The evolution, yes. Well, the evolution of Eddie is interesting. As he matured, he was verbal about it, and they talk about it in Eruption. They talk about it. He was embracing grunge a little bit, a lot. He was getting away from the, they made comments about, a big thing. I've talked about it in concert, to see Sammy Hagar when he was the Red Rocker as Sammy Hagar with 3, 4, 5, 6. I've seen him with as many as 7 bras and panties around his neck in concert. Eddie was making comments about that, and he thought it was getting to be childish. He was getting tired of it, and he was getting really tired of Dave's shtick. And as a Roth era fan, hearing that kind of breaks my heart a little bit, to hear Eddie evolving and actually maturing, because as a fan, I didn't want him to. I didn't want Eddie to grow up.
It was ultimate party band.
No way, man. And then I came to the realization, like what we're talking about right now, and Tony, it was never going to happen. Never. Not like it was before. You just can't go back. You can't.
So the other thing that Ed mentioned during that interview was, the baby step thing. He also said that, before, if we do tour with Roth, we're going to have to make an album first, which was interesting because 2007, when they got back together, they didn't do an album first.
No,
they went out.
But
they went out right away.
But then, everybody's asking all this stuff, and they got to have answers. I mean, that's Van Halen. Yeah. They hadn't been together. It's 1996. Oh yeah,
very big news.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, we can all read between the damn lines. This was the start of a reunion. Could they get along? Could they work together? Could this be Van Halen continuing? I mean, that's what it came across, and that was what our instant hope was then.
And there was a moment of hope. It was bright.
But learning what really happened, dude, but at the time in 1996, we could have used David Lee Roth back in Van Halen.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Gee.
I was excited when I watched it live. It was very, very short-lived, almost like Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. But Poor Brendan. Poor Brendan.
I was
That was
I
brutal,
was
man. He's not
very
here to defend
excited.
himself or anything, man. Oh,
I was very
nice.
excited listening to Greatest Hits to hear
Yep.
those two new Roth songs.
They were
Mhm.
amazing.
It took me
They-
a long
they were
time
great.
to like Humans Being, but the Roth songs, those two, I instantly loved those.
Mhm.
Can't Stop Loving You and uh, Don't Tell Me What
No,
Love Can Do, right?
no.
What two
For what
songs are we
the
talking about?
Can't Get This Stuff No
stuff? No,
More
Me
and
Wise
Me
Magic.
Wise Magic.
Sorry, guys. My bad.
Um,
My bad.
yeah.
Yeah, those are
Um,
outstanding songs.
yeah, but point is that it was the start of what was to come. That was the future. That was what we were. All right. They can still bring it, you know. I mean, those two songs were, I still love those two songs, man.
Yeah, they were outstanding.
Um,
Yeah,
this is true.
yeah, he did work out a
Those 3
lot.
words, baby. Right out.
Martial
You got it.
arts.
This is true.
Very
Yeah.
true. Very true.
Yeah. But yeah, in 1996, um, Dave's voice wasn't in great shape, obviously, that you can hear on those two songs.
Yeah.
And he said that he hadn't sang at that point in almost a year. But he was probably the most healthiest, him and Mike, you know, at that time. Um, yeah.
Poor Mike. Poor Mike always becomes a spectator pretty much. He has
But
to.
there was a lot going on with Ed and Al at that time. Um, and I think
Yeah.
all of that really helped doom the relationship and ultimately the reunion. Um, yeah, just bad timing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was. It's like watching a train wreck, you know.
yeah. Well, I mean, just watching that, watching those four on stage, and of course, Dave's gonna hot dog a little bit, you
Yeah,
know,
that's his
but
nature.
and but all that aside, it did look like this was what was next out of Van Halen.
Hmm.
Not just those two songs, you know. Yeah.
Makes you wonder how many of those Van Halen 3 melodies would have had different lyrics, songs.
Well, yeah, it does. A lot of things went off the rails after all that, obviously. Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah.
So, do you think the greatest hits was a good idea at the time for them to put that out?
No. No. But
So they
people do it for money, you know. I don't know people's business, but Alex's divorce, I've
hmm
heard that cross my ears before. That had, you know,
maybe
people
Ray just wanted to
usually
get some cash flowing.
people
No, Ray.
put greatest hits albums out there for money,
Yeah.
not that the band needs it in this highlight of their career,
Right.
this twilight of their. No, fuck all bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ray
It's
What?
says, and
money. they're
An eruption,
cashing
he
in.
says, yeah, an eruption, Ray says that in his words, the Twister soundtrack song that they were coming up with, that was a major bridge to carry the band and keep them in the spotlight. He explains it all. It was planned out, and it was a good plan. But Sammy fought it the whole way, and Eddie fought Sammy. They hated the lyrics on everything that Sammy was doing. They changed him behind his back. There's a whole lot to it.
Yeah,
There's
because
a lot of backstabbing and a lot of just.
Ed didn't want a song about
a lot
wind
of
and
dysfunction in the family.
That's a good word, Tony. Dysfunction. Man,
Dysfunction.
right there.
perfect.
I mean, there was a lot going. It was a lot at all angles, dude. Yeah. But yeah.
If they'd have listened to Ray, I think truly Van Halen would have continued with Sammy, and Dave would have never even come into the picture. If they could have just been happy together. They came off of freaking Balance. It went triple platinum in 3 months. Okay.
Wow.
The history behind that, is it 10 studio albums in the Van Halen catalog? The history of those albums, the sales and everything is astronomical. It's astronomical. And to have lightning strike twice from lead singer, from Roth to Hagar, and have that happen, something had to give, you guys. Something had to give. And I think they grew apart. They just were just at opposite ends of everything. And I think money and management and other entities drove them all back together. Everybody wanted to see Roth back together with Van Halen.
Right.
They were trying to keep the brand healthy, fresh, halfway through fucking grunge. Okay. And it was working. They had it. They had the talent. They just weren't happy. They had the equation. It amazes me how rock bands can find fame, have it, enjoy it,
Wow.
and then piss it away like it's going to just happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Then it happens again. And then they piss it away.
What's up, Brian?
I'm saying piss it away. That's an easy way to explain all of this shit.
What's up, Randy?
Randy, you
Good
rock.
to see you guys.
Life ain't easy, and rock and roll is a rough business.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Loeffler, his entire job was, and I go back to Eruption. I keep going to it because I love that book. He keeps the vultures, I think the wolves and the thieves, away from the structure of the band and that world, everyone in it. He keeps everyone safe because that machine needs to roll. And it's all about making money. A lot of the tension comes just mainly when the money is uncertain.
According to Sammy Charles, Ed Ray viewed him as the enemy.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. You're right. And that's, how do you overcome that? How do you overcome that? It's true. Just, you can't, it ain't gonna work. And it's a shame because look at what's at stake here. Look at what they've built up. Look at the history of just the Hagar era, and to have it fall apart. And it wasn't lack of talent.
But when it happened, though, when Sammy, it was apparent that he was on the way out, and they had their mind set on Dave,
Yeah.
But that it happened like it happened. I wish it would have happened.
Yeah, I can remember Eddie. Yeah, they talk about that. Eddie was talking about how, they were doing the greatest hits thing, and he gets on the phone with Dave, and they decide to meet, and then for the next 3-4 hours, they're smoking cigarettes and talking shit. Good old times.
Yeah.
According to Eddie, it was just like old times. And I kind of laughed when I read that, Ed and Tony, you guys, because old times sucked. The end result of the old times was misery, pain, and fucking Hagar era. That's what happened.
It's like getting
And,
back with an old crazy girlfriend.
Yeah, and so I'm reading it, and I'm just saying to myself, God, I just want Eddie happy. It's always seemed that when Eddie was happy, everything kind of worked itself out.
That's true.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that, you know, he got his hip fixed, but yeah, he was entering a different time in his life, some
Two
good and
albums,
some not so good.
two albums in the next 20 years of that band's history.
That's pathetic.
That's the thing that I look at. That's kind of what I'm personally in the Van Halen world. That's kind of what I'm looking into right now. That 20-year period, trying to make sense of it all. And personally, my feeling is that's just where Eddie was. Eddie drove that band. Alex, obviously, when I say Eddie and Alex, they're a team. But if Eddie was in, things were happening. When Eddie wasn't in, things weren't happening.
Let me.
Go ahead. I'm done.
All right. So, Jeff K in the house.
Hey,
Right
Jeff.
Right on, brother.
Putting
Hey, Brian
sour
S.
milk.
Right on, Brian.
Still sour milk?
Sour milk back in the fridge.
That's
Don't put
good.
it back in the fridge, dude.
That's a good analogy.
Don't put it back in the fridge. Pour it down.
Yeah,
the
but it's
drain.
Van Halen milk, damn it. You don't throw that stuff away.
All right, let's turn the page, guys. Where are we at on time? All right, Want to see a cool tattoo?
That would be really
You get
nice.
Elvis on your elbow? What do you got going on?
Aha, good one.
Aha, I like that.
All right.
Do you, when you flex, does he talk?
That's right. So I'm just going to hold this up. So let me show you guys this. So y'all know that Wolfgang Van Halen has the Mammoth logo on his wrist like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch this.
Oh,
look at you.
Dude.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Wow.
Nice, bro.
It's clean, too.
Plain,
that's absolutely beautiful.
Clean and simple.
That must have hurt like hell.
Well,
although I wouldn't know. I'm a clean slate. I don't have any tattoos. So
I'll tell you what happened though. It doesn't hurt a bit. And I sat down, and by the time I had listened to the first Mammoth album and the latest Mammoth 2 album, it was done.
Jeez.
It was right there. Know what the best part about it is?
You got it for free.
No. No. Is I got 19 more to share with you guys.
Oh boy.
It's the chat that wins.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we are going to be including a novelty Mammoth temporary tattoo like this. I put this on here about 5 o'clock this afternoon, so it's been a few hours. Hope I can get it off.
Wow.
But we're gonna give these away.
It's gonna look
That's
great
awesome.
on Kurt's lower back. Sorry.
Yeah, you can use it as a tramp stamp if you or you know, but these do look really cool, and maybe I don't have it exactly in the middle.
That's all
I
right.
don't know, but it's cool. I tried, but yeah, no. Mammoth tattoos for everyone.
Nice.
And easy to apply.
Easy to apply, wet paper towel.
Wow.
Patty Dill wants one.
And then you add a little lotion on it. Stays there. But yeah.
That's excellent. Licking stick.
Mm. John, welcome, dude.
Oh, John, you're out, dude.
Good to
What's up,
see
John?
you, man. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna be playing for tonight. I will include a mammoth tattoo in the prize pack tonight.
Very
And
cool.
we'll see how we're going to give them away in upcoming shows. But so if you're going to see Mammoth, and I hope you are, I wish I was,
Don't even start me.
but you can wear your tattoo on your wrist like that. How cool does that look at the show? Hell yeah.
It would be nice to be up near the front of the stage and flash that to Wolf.
Yeah,
I was flashing it to you. That would be cool.
that's right.
Yeah. But there are people now who actually have a real mammoth on their wrist, just like this. Cheryl Reed is one. We had her on when we did a mammoth episode for the first album.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that was. But she has a real mammoth on her wrist.
Hey, Ryan's in the chat. What's up? OU812.
Ryan, what's
There
up,
he
brother?
is.
What's going on, man?
Good to see you, brother.
Now they're all here.
Yeah. All righty. The OU812 crew and the Under the Bus network. Yeah. Guys, I have got to cut some air on. I knew there was something I didn't do before we went live. I'll be right back.
All righty.
Ed, it's only 49 days till Halloween, bro.
Whoa. I haven't
It's
decided
fast
yet.
now. It's coming
Sing
fast.
for him, Ed. Sing for him. I'll be right back.
Give me an Elvis tune, bro.
Oh, Elvis. I've lived a life that's full.
Nice.
I've traveled each and every byway.
Nice. That's actually one of my favorite Elvis songs.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It really is. It's very
it's
cool,
quite
bro.
I've got quite a few that I.
So
I
you,
really
so
like.
just since Tony's away, I'm just going to talk to you. In the chat, we're talking to you guys.
Yeah.
You never had. You're the biggest Elvis fan I know. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm just going to throw that out there. But you never had a Velvet Elvis.
No.
White Velvet Elvis.
I had posters.
Yeah.
Some. But no, I never had the Velvet Elvis. No. It's a shame.
Isn't it like a prerequisite that every bona fide Elvis fan has to at least have a Velvet freaking Elvis, man? I've seen some cool ones. I'm not joking, man. Velvet Elvises are cool, man, with the black light and everything. Maybe a lava lamp on the side. Everything's going retro. I saw Craig Sofko the other day posted on Facebook Marantz. I think it was a Marantz stereo system from like '82 or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Love those things. Amaze you. I say it before. I was making a joke about cranking up Dreamboat Annie. Good God, man. Really good stuff.
I used to listen to Elvis live in Madison Square Garden, that album, and I would, as a kid, I would sing in front of the mirror, pretend I was Elvis. I put the collar up and and sit there with a brush or something and pretend I was Elvis Presley and sing all this right along with the songs.
That is so cool.
It's a lot of fun.
That is so cool. Oh my goodness, man.
No, Monique, my dad didn't have a Velvet Elvis. No.
All right.
So, but yeah. I sang a couple of lines, Tony, that my voice, just can't anymore.
He was doing his singing debut. It wasn't bad. It wasn't
Everybody
bad,
needs to sing more, man. Come on.
I could do it karaoke pretty well. You get me in front of the mic, and
There
yeah.
you go. Right on, bro.
I got a voice for Johnny Cash too. Deep enough, and
Man in Black.
Cash tunes are easy. Folsom
Johnny was
Prison,
cool.
and
Johnny was cool.
My name is Sue. But
yeah.
Edvis.
So things really got moving very quickly. We mentioned how weird that it got after all of that, but with between every SAS was the first one they considered, and it from what's the guy, oh dear Lord, what's the blonde-headed guy? Name is skipping me. Yeah, hit me in the head. Yeah, Mitch Malloy.
Malloy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, things got weird and things started moving fast, and the next thing you're hearing that Gary Sharon from Extreme is the new lead singer in Van Halen.
Yeah, that came out of left field. I was like, really? Gary Sharon?
Now, when I first heard that about Sammy Hagar, I didn't feel the same way that I felt when I heard that about Gary Sharon. When I heard that for the first time, I think it was along the lines of, what? Real? Oh no! Really? You are kidding me? He's good. No fucking
With Extreme.
way. No fucking
I love him in Extreme.
Yeah.
That's the band he was made for.
Is it because Sammy was more accomplished of an artist? Is that why you were surprised about Gary at the time? I mean, Gary, they had their share of excellent records, but
it was weird.
Fit?
I mean, just the whole vibe there, and Gary did not bring the right kind of vibe to that band live, and they all of them wanted it to be, but that it was just, and you know what I'm saying, and everybody, I mean, it bombed, I mean.
Yeah.
He's got a great voice. You can't take that away from him.
Oh no, he's made for Extreme.
I don't think. I don't think Eddie was too happy about his outfits either on stage. He wore that pantsuit, black button-up shirt and pants, and I don't think he cared for that much. And yeah, it was a little odd to watch the performances.
Yeah, the short hair, and it was weird. It was weird.
That would be the third time for lightning to strike on Van Halen, and guess what? Didn't strike 3 times for him. Okay, they were lucky to get 2. It didn't matter to me as a fan personally. It didn't matter who. And I had heard rumors. 3 or 4 different people were rumored to be, even Patty Smythe for a period of time between. I think that actually was before, but there were a lot of names that were flying out there, and
Daryl Hall.
Daryl flipping Hall, Ed. Yes, it didn't matter who they said.
Right.
It wasn't going to
Phil
be okay
Collins
this time.
too.
It wasn't okay this
That's
time.
right.
Wasn't okay.
Right. I got a
Didn't
question
matter
for
who
you,
they said.
Charles. I have a question for you, Charles. Being in tune with the Motley Crue camp, do you think at the time in '96, do you think a manager like Doc would have done better
96.
with handling that situation?
That's
Do you think he could have kept them together? Doc McGee was, to keep Motley Crue in line. Do you think he would have? How would if he have done with Dave and a reunited Van Halen?
That's a good question, Ed.
We all know Doc's.
Well, at the
pedigree.
speaking of Doc though, and speaking of 1996, Kiss reunited in 1996 to great success.
Huge.
And put
Huge.
the makeup back on, and they've kept it on ever since.
Right.
Going
worked
back
out
to
well.
the original equation, Doc McGee would have been wonderful.
Do you think things would have been different?
No, I don't.
Do you think it still would have crashed and burned?
Crash and burn.
Yeah.
Because that was the perpetuation. The inevitable is going to happen. You can't do that forever, and just you can't live forever, guys. Your body's going to give out.
Yeah.
You can't party for a week straight on no sleep anymore. That's just the way it is. We're humans. It's kind of morbid. Morbid curiosity. I don't know. It's not even the word I'm looking for. What I'm trying to say is we sit back and we watch these rock bands, our favorites. We watch them some of them, if they last as long, a lot of them don't last as long as Van Halen. So we got to watch Van Halen. That's a long time to watch a band keep rolling and performing and trying to knock it out of the park. The history of the first 10 studio albums is unbelievably successful. And if they had never done anything else after Balance,
quite a legacy.
Oh yeah,
it would have been just the most incredible legacy there is. Huge legacy. So they had to try something else. Dave wasn't. It's really great that we can sit and actually watch Eddie and Alex being interviewed by Kurt Lauder and hear them say what's on their mind at the moment, moment, because their attitude towards this obviously went back and forth. I mean, they let Dave back in, and even though he had this moment, Eddie had this moment of where everything was patched up and they were getting along like the original. They were going to crash and burn.
Yeah.
They were. There was too much going against them from every angle.
And they didn't have management. Ray Daniels was a wonderful manager. My God, they couldn't talk about being blessed with a wonderful manager. But Sammy didn't trust him. And because Sammy didn't trust him, it didn't matter how good a manager he was. A member of that band, a real important member, was not happy.
Right.
Had he trusted Ray, I would say that Sammy would have stayed in Van Halen. if he trusted Ray and was happy with the management and not thinking he was being ripped off.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot there underlying.
There is
in
a
the
lot there. You're right,
relationship.
man. There is
There's
a
a
lot there.
lot. There's a lot in the relationship, Charles, that it had gone sour. They harp on his lack of work ethic. You know, you've heard them
Yeah.
say them
Yeah.
say that a few times.
Um,
But the the there's what was going on there. I don't think between Eddie or Alex or Michael or Dave or the manager, I don't think that there was any guilty party, any one person. It was doomed. It was not going to work. There was too much against it, and it was you can say it was this, you can say it was that, but there's no bad guy in what happened in 1996, in my opinion. They were all going, that was the start of a very weird time.
I think the reason Michael lasted so long, and even though it wasn't perfect for him, he certainly has the best track record, is he was just simply willing to let Eddie have his way. Period.
Yeah.
He was willing to let the Van Halen brothers have his way. When I say Eddie, I'm talking about Alex at the same time.
Mhm.
It just seems to me that's the reason he lasted as long as he did. He was just willing to do what he was told.
Whatever direction they were going in, he was right behind them.
And had he not formed the bond he did with Sammy, he might have still stayed.
Yeah, Ed resented that.
Apparently, they didn't even let him know. He found out that Wolf was the bass player for a newly formed Van Halen that included David Lee Roth.
Like we did.
Found that out. Nobody told him.
And you hear that and you say, well, why would they be that mean to him? And that pisses me off a little bit as a fan. Michael, I hold him in the most highest esteem of bass players in rock. He put up in the biggest band in history, the most shit, decades of it. He lasted through thick and thin with the same wife that he married out of high school. The guy's got more character than I will ever have.
Yes, he's got mega loyalty.
And so Eddie was lucky to have him. Alex was lucky to have him. Dave was lucky to have Mike. Period. Yep. I sit and I look at it and I say to myself, I said, Charles, why in the world would they have that equation and not make music and rock and roll instead of all the drama from this band? It's crazy. It's crazy.
No,
it's crazy.
We as fans, especially then, in 1996, that song, Where is David Lee Roth? You know that we need him more than ever now. That was when that song really counted, really mattered.
The media literally set us all up
for a reunion. Yeah.
And nothing. It was nothing.
Well, it's a shame that it didn't happen. There for a little while, though, it did look like it was going to happen.
Yes.
Kiss had gotten back together, and
and I hope that we can come back to the Sammy and Dave tour and talk about that in the future. That in and of itself is a show. Just that tour right there. And it just goes to show you how crazy this business is of rock and roll. Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth literally going on a tour with one another. getting along for you thought they were the best of chums at the beginning of that
A
tour.
little bit.
They're PR. They're out there. You've seen it all. You guys have seen it all.
Oh, yeah.
My God. And talk about positive. I embraced it. I thoroughly
Yeah, me
embraced
too.
it. I love
I
Dave's band, the
I went
David
to
Lee
it.
Roth band. We've been fortunate enough to have. Oh my God! Look, I hope we can do a show like that in the future, you guys. That would be really cool.
We will.
Really
I
cool.
I saw
cool.
that tour stop, but as a Van Halen fan, I'll tell you my take on that tour. Probably why I hadn't done a show on it yet, but I just think that tour should have never happened. That tour was
It was
a
so funny.
more of a slap in the face. Not, I don't
To
know if
Eddie.
that's the right. I
It
don't
was
know if that's the right words to, but
it was a dig at him.
they shouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't say that, Ed, but it just it shouldn't have happened. You know, I went and saw it. You know, it was nice to see them both. Yeah, and all that, but it should have never happened. And why they both agreed to something. Yeah, it's a good laugh at the moment. Yeah, well, both went out. We do huge business and this and but they did it. You know,
We're
but
gonna flip a blonde every night and see who
I just think
headlines.
that wasn't healthy for the legacy of the band. Let's say.
Right.
Yes.
Um, you know.
I no pun intended, but I thought it was the best of both worlds. I'm like, I get to hear Sammy sing all his Van Halen songs,
Yeah,
and then I get to hear Dave, and they might get on stage together. But never happened.
But it no, that should have never happened. That tour should have never happened. And they did good business.
Who ran that? Was it Irving Azoff?
I don't know, but they did good business out there. And
I think so.
they couldn't
I think
get
so,
along.
I think so.
You know, or according to Sammy and Dave, and all of a sudden there's this. But you know, I think a lot of that was probably a little media fueled.
Yeah.
You know, Dave saying this, Sammy saying that, and you know,
Well, we heard the stories from Brian Young on that HALENVILLE live show that we did.
I know.
Well, you guys did.
Remember Ed and Tony when he was telling us the story of being in the back in the dressing room? They were all eating, and the door was locked, and Sammy was beating on the door. Security was outside the door, wouldn't let him in. He left the bottle of tequila outside. Yep. That was a reoccurring thing. It didn't just happen one time. It happened a few times. And one of those times is on, you can see it on MTV. It's there. I was watching it the other day. And it's crazy. And we got to actually hear him tell us the story on the show of that occurrence. I thought that was that was really cool.
That was great.
Very cool.
Got to have him on again.
That would be nice. I wonder what he's doing now.
Yeah.
What a guitar player. Holy crap.
David hired Jimmy DeGrasso as the drummer. Okay. He had used Brian before out on the road, and he had James Lomenzo on bass, ex-White Line guy. But the opening night, you remember the story, Charles? Opening night, Brian's doing the breakdown to Panama or something, and it's the built-in part of the show where Dave introduces the band, and and they break it down. Yeah, here on bass, James Lomenzo, yeah, and they he introduces Brian and starts dances over to Brian and gets behind him like, what's the drummer's name?
That's great.
That tells you a lot, man. That really does tell you a lot.
That is excellent. Hey, I think it's that time, Tony.
What time is it? Oh, yeah. It's
I
getting
think it's
there.
that time.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's run some now. How about it? Who wants to play trivia? Anybody? Who's up? Who's gonna win tonight? So that's the call. We're playing 10, or no, we're not. We're playing nearly. Sorry. We're playing nearly impossible Van Halen trivia for you tonight, and we're giving you the $1 million Van Halen bill, the 1971 D quarter, in the lolly pack, and
Nice.
we're going to cut you out and wrap nicely and gingerly a new Mammoth tattoo that you can wear on your lower back,
Or your forehead.
or you can wear it where Wolf wears his,
Yeah.
right there.
You'd be a tough
Yeah.
guy. Put it on your neck.
Yeah, on your neck. Have a Mammoth tattoo right there. No. No neck tattoos, no face tattoos. Sorry. Yeah.
Just don't put it upside down because it'll WW. Who's that?
I already have a
Yeah.
Van Halen tattoo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tony looks looking good, bro.
I love those. I love it when you do it. It looks like your skin's peeled open and you get the stripes under there.
Yeah.
I've seen a few with blood droplets too.
We'll toss you in a Mammoth. I don't know how many days it'll stay, but I'm gonna find out.
We'll find out.
Mm.
We'll find out. All right, so this is nearly impossible Van Halen trivia. We're going to ask you a very, very difficult trivia question about Van Halen. And first correct answer that we see in the chat is the winner. There is a trivia winner's email down in the description. It says trivia winner's email, of course. Email me your name and address, and I'll mail you out this cool stuff and that tattoo, like that. And hopefully you've never won here before, and I can send you some really cool stuff like these cool HALENVILLE guitar picks. And we've got what else? Fruitcake Tony guitar. He's got a guitar pick. I want to send you everyone's guitar picks in this prize pack. I know who doesn't have these. And so if you've never won here, we're rooting for you.
Nice.
We are rooting for you. Yeah, this cheer is for you. You can do it. Yeah. All right, new winner tonight, guys. New winners in the house.
Good luck, you guys.
Right, good luck. All right. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I'm trying to think of who hasn't won in the chat. Monique hasn't won.
Yes, she has.
Oh, she has?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Not in a minute, though.
John McAllister?
I don't believe John's won.
No. Not unless he is an alias. But
Could
yeah.
be.
So if you're new here, we talk Van Halen and Mammoth WVH every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on this YouTube channel with these fine dudes. And we talk about different Van Halen subjects and topics. Sometimes it's gear, sometimes it's music, sometimes it's tour. It's all kind of Van Halen stuff. But yeah, we are here on the channel, as we've said in the past. We will be covering the progress and success of Mammoth WVH as they tour and make music. Yeah. So you certainly can expect an exclusive Mammoth show, one every couple or so. Yeah, a lot going on. Mammoth on a break, winding down that big M72 no repeat weekend with Metallica, winding that down. Got some time off. Going back out in November. Gonna be hanging out with, where is it at? Well, did I get rid of it? No, there it is. Yeah, so those are your November Mammoth dates. Yeah. And she'll be hanging out with Nita. Yeah. They
Still
got
in North Carolina.
They got a couple of Mexico
South Carolina.
City dates still on the M72. Mammoth does with Metallica in the end of this month, but then that's it for that. Yeah. All right, kids, are we ready? Get ready to type. Get ready. Get ready. All righty. My boys are telling me that the question ain't that hard tonight.
Got it right away.
That's good for you guys.
Yeah, so type fast.
Yeah. I try to keep them on the edge. You know, a couple weeks ago, nobody got it, you know. And I don't want that to happen, but this is nearly impossible, Van Halen. So every one in 4 or 5 shows, it seems to happen. You know,
That's got to make you feel a little good, though. You know,
no,
stump them.
not that I stumped them, but just the fact that you do. I try to keep it on the edge of being nearly impossible.
Right, and the good thing is most people learn something that they never knew about Van Halen in the process.
I mean, I want them to win. I don't think I want to stump them. I don't want to stump anybody.
No,
I got millions. Those million. I got millions of dollars, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're a generous person.
He really does want you guys to win.
I'm trying to give these
$1
million away. Yeah, and these quarters. Yeah. Yep. All right.
Okay. Let's
Here
go.
we
Rick
go.
Whoop himself if we don't go.
All right.
The pressure's getting to him. Hey, Dwight Bailey in the chat.
What's
What's
up,
up,
Dwight?
Hitman?
You rock, bro.
You're just
Just
in
in
time
time.
for
Yep.
trivia. We're fixing to pull it. Get ready to type. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. The song Josephina was added to Van Halen's 3 album at the last minute to replace what song? Name that tune. Need all the words, please.
Monique.
Boom. I see it right away.
Yeah.
There it is.
Look at Randy, man.
He's
Randy, right? Randy Price?
Randy Price.
got it.
Shaboom.
Nice, brother. Nice, man. That's how it's
Right
done.
on,
Right there.
Randy.
You're
So
Russian.
Randy grabs the prize, and I'm gonna send you a mammoth tattoo just like that, bro. And you can put it on your wrist like that, or your lower back, dude.
But don't send us pictures if you do that.
I wouldn't suggest on the ladder. No, just kidding. Certainly not. But yeah, no, maybe on the, you go see Mammoth. There it is. It's right there.
Congratulations, Randy. And now you can go do your thing.
Nice, man. So Randy works good under pressure. Stuff. That's pretty cool, man.
What's up,
Not
Jay?
bad, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, what's up, bro? I don't know.
All righty. All right. The Under the Bus crew is here. They're all here. Right on.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Watch what you say, Charles.
So Tony, I actually, when I saw this question, I actually mentioned that I think I would have preferred "That's Why I Love You" instead of Josephina. I thought it was, it wasn't a bad little poppy song.
Let me take this.
But it wasn't Josephina written for Ed's mom or something. No.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's his mom's name.
Yes.
But yeah. All righty. So I think, though, in hindsight, though, with this conversation, even if they weren't even in the building, even if that never happened right there, even if none of that, we never even saw that, it would have ended up the same way.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Because what we just saw, that photo you showed us, those guys are all acting right there. You look at Alex's face. You can see, if you watch the whole clip, Eddie and Alex are flat. They're flustered, to say the very least, at that moment in time. And they pull it all together. And their demeanor and their professionalism while on that stage was outstanding. I was shocked. Then, because after that, I saw the interview and saw what their true feelings were and how they really felt.
Well, you can see when Dave gets up and says, let me address the subject. You can see Ed do an about face and look the other side. He grabbed his shades like he was gonna, like, what is about to happen here? And yeah, I think, but regardless of what was said backstage and to the interviewers and the questions and what they said to each other in between, it would have, even if they weren't even there, it ended up the same damn way.
I think so. I think you're right.
You know,
I think you're right, Tony.
it was just, yeah. I wish it would have, though. You know, I think that really, I think Mike and Dave could have at that point. You know, I think it was Ed and Al and everything that was going on in their lives individually that really made it impossible. But I think that had the brothers been all in and healthy and sound and happy at home and everything else, they'd have whipped Dave right into shape and he'd have been back out there, you know, I think.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been Van Halen, though. You know, the whole band's mystique from the very beginning was they were the most badass, rowdiest. They were the band you wanted to be. You wanted to be at their party. They were the party.
Mm-hmm.
Their music is what you played first and foremost if you had a party.
Mm-hmm.
All of that, the mystique of Van Halen from the early years couldn't go away. It was their mystique. So all of the drama for a long time just enhanced and made them bigger. The fans, I embraced the drama. I loved it. When they were getting in trouble in the early days, even through the US Festival, I loved it. It was great.
Rock and roll.
Didn't faze me at all. It was just Van Halen. I wasn't shocked. The media made it seem like everyone was shocked, but the fans weren't shocked.
No.
Not at all. They've given us a lot of great, incredible music. It is timeless, truly timeless. And we're all fortunate to have been here to experience it. That's my take on Van Halen.
Amen, brother.
They got to have the band. They got to have drama. Without drama, they're not Van Halen. I'm sorry. They are not clean cut choir boys in any sense of the word.
So you expected it every time.
It has to be there.
Yeah.
Part of the thing I really loved about the Roth era Van Halen was not so much Dave's antics as I liked his lyrics. I think Dave's got the best Van Halen lyrics that were ever, personal opinion, but Dave's Van Halen lyrics are, good God, they're incredible.
He could write some good stuff, man.
Oh my, he is a lyricist. That's his thing. He's a lyricist.
Yep. That's definitely one of his strong points.
And it's also part of his downfall. I think he drives himself crazy. I think he does. He has to. He has to. He has to decompress. He has to. That guy gets wound up like a top, and he has to decompress. Yeah. Interesting enough, after Balance, Sammy needed to decompress big time. They had been going wide the hell open for a long ass time, and he was promised time off. He needed time off to bond with his new wife and his new child, his new family, much less getting over the divorce and everything else that was going on. So he needed that time, and Eddie wasn't going to give it to him. That's another thing. That pissed him off.
Yeah.
But he came back from Hawaii. He was over there on his honeymoon. He was staying over there. He decided he came back to San Francisco, relocated his family in San Francisco to work and finish out, his obligations with the band. He was trying, but it wasn't going to make Ed happy. Ed was already disappointed.
You can't match the work ethic either, because Ed was in the studio constantly. I mean, he was nobody. I mean, maybe Al sometimes would do all nighters with him and stuff. But
Well,
Ed was
right.
constantly making music in the studio, and
He
nobody
was.
worked as hard as he did.
Yeah,
Nobody.
nobody did, but you got to realize that work is in the backyard, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so it's not like you have to go somewhere, or like when they used to rehearse in Dave's basement, or it's he's constantly working.
Yeah.
So but him and Alex said on more than one occasion about his work ethic or lack of, and not just based on that one thing that happened,
Right.
on Father's Day about they caught each other. That's just one
I'm
little
sure there were more.
example, but oh yeah, it was.
Sure, there were.
But yeah, they're not on the page, that's for sure. And to sit there and brag how they did about how much they were on the page when Sammy joined the band, and how this was, this is the real Van Halen. What was happening
Yeah.
before? It was like a tooth whatever that they said, but they were not on the page. But they made some great music with Sammy Hagar. That side of the catalog, the Sammy Hagar albums, wonderful. Masterpieces. I love
Incredibly
all of them.
successful.
I love
Incredibly
all of them.
successful.
Yeah.
Not the way that we envisioned Van Halen to go. But you know, they they gave us a lot, and I mean, look, can't ask for more. Look at we're still going on and on about these guys all these years later. So, you know,
Right.
they made a impression, and yeah.
I blame Sammy for the whole thing. How's that? No, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I blame Claudio. Why don't you call Sammy?
That's my general story. I blame Sammy for everything. That's how I do. I'm sorry, guys. I joke about it, but I love Van Halen. My goodness.
Yeah, it could have been a wonderful thing in 1996. Yeah, and we sure all wanted it, but
And at that time, you had the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, and Page and Plant. All these 70s, music bands and stuff out on the road. And so Van Halen would have been the next greatest. I mean, they were mostly 80s, but next greatest older band. Well, and Kiss, like you mentioned, Charles.
yeah, you had Kiss that had just reunited,
Yeah.
put the makeup back on.
Yeah, at the Grammys. Yeah.
Yeah. Opening night, Tiger Stadium. Yeah.
Do you think that was a little over the top? I mean, even for Dave to say that, oh, back then it was, I want my MTV. Now it's, give me your MTV, I'll blow your fucking head off.
Well,
they kind of were taken a little aback, with that statement.
I didn't mind that much. I mean, that was just a little, Dave stab at Dave humor. But
yeah,
when he got up there and said, there is a subject that we need to address. We haven't, at that point, the whole world, I was sitting there like, Dave, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, the crowd loved it. I mean, they ate that up.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, of course, I mean, it's Van Halen.
Yeah. Right.
but yeah, I could have done without him saying that. The little stab at the joke, or and even the little shimmy while the guy's giving his speech or whatever. I mean, I could have. That's okay too, but just that little thing that Dave said about the band, I think he should have not said that, kept his mouth shut. You know, everybody knows you hadn't been on the stage together in over
Yeah.
a decade, Dave.
Yeah, you
You
didn't even
know,
have to say it.
um,
So, Charles, do you think they were really acting up there, or I mean, it looked
Well, I think they had their game faces on,
it looked
and they
awkward.
were in the media's eye, and they were being very well behaved.
Yeah,
Because you saw Eddie after that. My
he,
goodness, man.
he must have
And
been
he did
blown
make
up
some
inside.
faces up there. He made some faces.
Yeah, a
He
couple,
was not happy,
and he
but
pulled
he
them
went
away.
off. He went off.
Yeah,
And if you just resolve the fact in this Van Halen world, as an individual loving the band, that's Eddie and Alex's band. If you can come to that conclusion and accept it, it's much easier to understand Eddie's mindset and the way that he handled himself. He probably, my take on Eddie was he wasn't the greatest businessman at all.
hmm
Until he met Val, he didn't know how to talk. He didn't know how to. He didn't know how to dress. Okay,
right.
but he'd already been embraced by then. So his whole career was an evolution of him finding himself, creating the music he wanted to create, and entertaining us.
Yeah,
That was it. It's that simple. And all the other stuff, the rock star, the stuff, the planes, the trains, the automobiles, all that crap, and the fans takes a toll on a rock star.
hmm
And a rock star of his caliber, shit, man. We
yeah.
were lucky to have as much music from that man as we have. It's amazing
True.
how much music from Edward Van Halen and the Van Halen brothers and the band Van Halen that we actually have.
oh
It's
yeah,
That's
incredible.
true. Yeah.
I know everybody always wants more. Dig it out of the vault, bring it out of the vault. Shit. They've given us a lifetime of really, really great music. If nothing else ever comes out, period, from this point forward, we are lucky and blessed.
I agree.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Um, yeah.
Keith says that according to Gary, he was already in the band by the DLR reunion. Yeah, that might be true. Yeah,
Keith, I've heard that.
maybe they already made up their mind by then.
Dave
And that
Whitley
was
wasn't
just
supposed to be in that band, according to Eddie and Alex. He was
Yeah.
doing 2 songs, and I don't think Eddie really even by that. I think Dave wore so thin on him so fast. He put the brakes
Yeah.
on, man. Eddie put the brakes on. Alex put the brakes on that shit. And I kind of
Yeah.
understand why,
And like you said, Eddie matured a little more by then, and Dave was still back in 1984.
He complains about it. You can hear him complain about it.
Oh,
Him and
yeah.
Alex are sitting on that couch with Kurt Loder, and he just no filter, guys.
He's like,
I hope a lot of you guys have heard that. He just literally just dumps it.
he's like, all that stuff was right there.
I bet he
Again.
felt so much better after he said all that stuff. But my God,
Yeah, probably.
God, man, jeez, you can't take it back,
Yeah, I know. But no, there was just a lot going on. And like I say, there's the brothers had more going on than Dave or Mike did at that time anyway. So I don't think there is a, a good guy or a bad guy. I just think that it was horrible timing, and they were not in shape to reunite as Van Halen. They were not,
Agreed.
you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But there's two sides, and brothers say this and said that, and we all know. Dave said this and said that, and we all know. But still, it was, you know what happened? It was bad timing. It would have never, even if they were never at the VMAs, it still would have never happened. Um,
No. I'm really though kind of perplexed as to why the media. I mean, Ed, you pointed. I had forgotten about the freaking Welcome Back Cotter commercial. I forgot about that until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
That's just another. There were several media little snippets that came out for us, little bites and stuff, and it was exciting.
Yep.
I remember I took it hook, line, and sinker. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
No. You know, it's funny you mentioned Kurt Loder. Have you seen I saw it somewhere on Facebook or something that said, here's something that'll make you feel old. Kurt Loder is 78 years old.
Damn. Wow. I didn't
think about that.
all right.
Hey, guys, excuse me for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, guys and girls, we are going to wind things down as soon as Charles gets back. We are, but we're going to convene right back here on Saturday night, where we talk guitar picks and rock memorabilia right here on the channel. And this Saturday, things might get a little out of control. Just a little. Because this weekend is our Spinal Tap moment. Yeah, it is. So maybe we should have done this episode more close to Halloween.
That's okay.
It would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Look at my friend on the left there.
That is going to be so much fun.
Oh,
Classic film. It's probably one of the best depictions of a rock and roll band documentary. So it's not documentary, but I think it's up there. It's up there as one of the best rock movies.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
It's
hilarious.
We'll
it's
talk
iconic.
all about it on Saturday, and we'll draw all those comparisons. I'm sure there'll be a Steel Panther comparison too before it's all said and done. Yeah, but that's Saturday right here on the channel. If you are new here, we talk Van Halen every Tuesday night right here, 9 p.m. Eastern, live with these guys. Yeah, every single Tuesday. So mark your calendar. Make sure you subscribe. And thank you for that. Yeah.
I finally put coffee in my Halenville mug, you guys. It's
No
in the
way.
dishwasher. I was keeping picks in it, and I decided to go ahead and have some coffee in it.
Well,
and so now
it's high quality, so don't worry about it fading or anything.
Yeah, no.
I was drinking tea on Saturday with mine.
Nice, brother.
Yeah, I use mine all the time, Ed. Absolutely, all the time. All right, so
I saw. Shout out to Monique. I saw the comment you made just a few minutes ago. I just caught it. True words, girl. True words. I truly do believe that.
There you go.
I do believe that.
what comment is that, Charles?
I'll read it. So I was talking about Eddie when he met Val. He literally changed the way he talked and the way he dressed. Stepped his game up. It took her about 2 years, but she honed that boy into a media. He could come in front of the media and not embarrass himself.
Right.
And so what she said is, Charles, as they say, behind every great man is a better woman. I actually have to concur. That is absolutely true in many cases, girl.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely true.
let's not forget that she met him as Raggedy Ann, so or Raggedy Andy,
That's what
or
I mean.
Ronald
Yeah,
McDonald,
yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah.
So
His style, wardrobe, and everything completely changed from that point forward. She was good for Eddie. Val was good for Eddie, man. No doubt about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ed got in the style about 1986 too. Yeah, you could tell a change there.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, kids, we are gonna bounce. Leave a thumbs up here on the video. Thanks for being here. It's great to see you guys. Great to hang out with you on Tuesday and talk Van Halen. We'll be back here next Tuesday talking Van Halen. See you Saturday for Spinal Tap. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. All right. That's Saturday. Any last words, Charles Green?
Hey, guys, just don't forget this is Halenville. Around here, it doesn't matter if you go north, south, east, or west. Every single road is going to lead you to some Van Halen, you guys. Be well. Have a great week. Love you guys. And rock on.
Yeah.